Most traders imagine big money as aggressive, confident, and fast. They picture institutions slamming massive buy or sell buttons and instantly moving the market in their favor. That belief is comforting, but it is completely wrong. In reality, the larger the capital, the weaker you become in terms of execution. Size is not power in markets. Size is exposure. And this creates a problem that only large players must solve. How do you enter the market without telling the market that you are there? This is the first uncomfortable truth most traders never hear. Markets punish visibility. The moment other participants detect large demand or supply, price begins to move in anticipation, not confirmation. Liquidity disappears, spreads widen, and execution costs explode. So institutions are not asking, is this a good price? They are asking, if we try to enter here, will the market react against us? That single question changes everything. Now think about this carefully. If you were managing billions of dollars, would you want to be right about direction, but lose millions in execution cost? Or would you prefer slightly imperfect timing, but controlled, invisible participation? Institutions choose the second option every time. This is why execution strategy is treated as a core edge, not a technical detail. This is where order slicing becomes essential. Institutions never think in terms of one trade. They think in terms of exposure over time. A large order is broken into many small pieces, often executed across different sessions, price levels, and liquidity windows. Each piece is insignificant on its own, but together they form a meaningful position. Ask yourself this: if institutions already have conviction, why don't they just enter immediately? Because conviction without control is dangerous. Speed creates impact, and impact raises cost. Warren Buffett understood this long before algorithmic trading became mainstream. When Berkshire Hathaway builds positions, the process is intentionally slow, sometimes painfully slow. Not because Buffett is uncertain, but because he understands that markets respond to intention. The moment others sense large demand, they will bid price higher before Berkshire finishes buying. Buffett's edge is patience combined with discipline. He would rather miss part of a move than announce his presence too early. But even slicing orders is not enough. The market is always watching. This is why institutions use iceberg orders. Only a small fraction of the total order is visible at any one time. Once that portion is filled, another appears. To the rest of the market, it looks like normal flow. No urgency, no footprint. This leads to an important realization. Institutions do not want to look smart, they want to look average. The more ordinary their behavior appears, the better their execution. Retail traders often believe that hiding orders is about secrecy or manipulation. It is not. It is about defense. Markets are adversarial. Other participants will exploit visible size, not respect it. Iceberg orders are a way of saying, we will participate, but we will not advertise. Now let's talk about something that challenges almost everything retail traders are taught: time-weighted versus price-weighted execution. Retail traders obsess over entry precision. Institutions do not. They care about average cost relative to liquidity. This raises a powerful question. What if trying to get the perfect price actually makes execution worse? For large players, it often does. With time-weighted average price, TWAP, execution, orders are spread evenly over time, regardless of short-term fluctuations. This removes emotion and reduces visibility. With volume-weighted average price, VWAP execution, orders adjust dynamically to market activity, trading more when liquidity is high and less when it is thin. The goal is not prediction. The goal is blending into the market. George Soros's most famous trades demonstrate this principle clearly. His success did not come from calling exact tops or bottoms. It came from recognizing structural imbalance and then expressing that view carefully as liquidity allowed. Positions were built, adjusted, and sometimes reduced without emotional attachment to individual prices. This leads to a crucial question most traders never ask. Is your strategy designed to survive execution or only to look good on a chart? Another reality that surprises most people is that institutions expect price to move against them during entry. This is normal. In fact, it is planned for. Because positions are built gradually, early fills may be underwater. Institutions do not panic because they are not judging success based on the first fill. They are managing average exposure, not emotional comfort. Retail traders, on the other hand, often enter all at once with tight stops. This creates immediate pressure to be right. Institutions remove that pressure by structuring trades so that being slightly early or late does not matter. This is one of the biggest psychological differences between professionals and amateurs. Professionals do not fear temporary discomfort. They fear uncontrolled risk. There is another subtle but critical point here. Institutions are comfortable not getting filled. If price moves too fast without offering liquidity, they simply step aside. They do not chase. They do not force trades. Missing an opportunity is considered acceptable. Poor execution is not. Ask yourself honestly, how often do you enter trades because you are afraid of missing out, not because conditions are optimal? When you step back and connect all these pieces, order slicing, iceberg orders, time-weighted and volume-weighted execution, a clear picture emerges. Big money is not trying to dominate the market. It is trying to coexist with it. The objective is not to predict price. The objective is to participate without becoming the signal that others trade against. This is the foundation of how large players operate: quietly, patiently, systematically. They do not win by being faster or smarter in the short term. They win by understanding structure, respecting liquidity, and designing processes that survive uncertainty. Once you see the market through this lens, price movements begin to make sense, and the idea of prediction starts to feel far less important than preparation. Another layer to this that most people never consider is that institutional execution is not just about entering a position, but about controlling information flow. Every action taken in the market sends a signal. The faster and more aggressively you act, the louder that signal becomes. Large players are constantly asking themselves not only what they want to do, but what the market will infer from their behavior. This is why execution is treated as a form of communication management, not just order placement. This also explains why institutions are deeply skeptical of certainty. When retail traders feel confident, institutions become cautious. High confidence usually means crowded positioning, visible behavior, and predictable reactions. Big money prefers uncertainty because uncertainty creates liquidity. When participants disagree, orders flow more freely. Institutions use that disagreement to quietly build exposure while others are distracted by prediction battles. Another critical insight is that institutional execution is designed around worst-case thinking, not best-case hope. Before a single order is placed, scenarios are mapped out. What happens if liquidity disappears? What if volatility spikes? What if price gaps against the position? These questions are not asked after the fact. They are built into the execution plan from the beginning. This mindset alone separates professionals from most traders, who think about risk only after entering. There is also a strong cultural difference at play. In professional environments, a trader is not rewarded for boldness or bravery. They are rewarded for restraint. A trader who avoids unnecessary market impact, preserves capital, and follows execution rules is valued more than someone who catches a perfect entry once in a while. This creates a culture where patience is respected and impulse is discouraged. Over time, this approach creates something far more powerful than prediction: consistency. Institutions do not need to win big. They need to avoid losing big. By minimizing execution errors, controlling exposure, and staying invisible, they allow their long-term edge to express itself naturally. This is why institutional performance looks boring on a day-to-day basis but impressive over years. For retail traders, this can feel unsatisfying at first. There is no excitement in slow execution, no dopamine rush from perfect entries. But professionalism is not designed to entertain. It is designed to survive. Once you understand how large players actually operate, you stop trying to force trades and start thinking in terms of participation quality, risk durability, and long-term presence.